So with fear, I think fear is a really important issue too. So there's real fear. And what I mean by real fear is that you're in jeopardy. Somebody has a knife to your throat, somebody has a gun to your head, you're being physically abused, you're stuck in a ditch somewhere, you go out on a hike and you're lost. That's legitimate, like true fear. Like my life is in jeopardy in this moment, true fear. And then there's fear. And I think fear has such a power over us because what we do is we're already in the future. Like fear is mostly in the future thinking. Things aren't going to work out for me. I'm going to lose the job. What if they take away my job? What if my spouse does walk out on me? What if my kids are ill? Oh, you name it. Like, at the core of it is this feeling of something's going to be taken from me. That's a different level of fear. So I think it's really important in fear to recognize, first of all and foremost, is this a legitimate fear? And if it is, then do something about it. Like if somebody has a gun to your throat and you're going to be put in a car, do everything you can to fight. Because you know the studies, you're not going to probably end up alive anyway. So give it your all in that moment before they get you into the car. Okay, that's an action step. Easier said than done. None of us want to face that. But the everyday fears, check yourself right now. Do you have a pit in your stomach? Is there something that makes your throat go dry if you have to talk about it? Is there something that you just simply avoid at all costs? Like, I just don't want to talk about it one more time. Stop and say, what am I really afraid of in this moment? I'm afraid of financial insecurity. I'm afraid that I'm not going to have enough money to live if I lose this job. I'm already on the brink from paycheck to paycheck. So when you feel that, ask yourself, am I losing my job right now? The answer will be no. That's where you need to start. Start with the no. No, I still have my job. Lean in with gratitude. I'm not joking right now. Lean in with gratitude. I'm really grateful I have that job. Most people are afraid of joy being, taken from them. It's not fear of death. Brene Brown discovered this. It's the fear of joy. Like you just recoil from things just a skosh because you just are too afraid if it were to fall away, what would you do? And then it owns you. That's fear. It owns you. Step into it and say, that's not reality for me. You have to learn how to tell yourself the truth about the situation. I'm not losing my job right now. My mind will tell me, because everybody else around me is being laid off, that I'm going to get laid off. No, we don't know that. God, if I tell my husband that, is he just going to want a divorce? We don't know that. We're so much in our heads about a storyline of what could go wrong. This is confirmation bias. So many people wake up in the morning and we have confirmation bias about what's going to go wrong today. And what if you stopped long enough and you reframed it and said, I'm going to look for what could go right today? That helps fear immediately. I'll give you a quick analogy of this. I worked with a cancer patient yesterday. And her diagnosis where it's metastases from her breast cancer into her bones. And I said, what are you afraid of? What's the storyline that has the ticker tape across your thoughts all day long? And she said, my life is limited. I said, we don't know that to be true. Everybody's life is limited. So invite it in. Sit with it. Hello, my life is limited. Have a seat at the table with me. Come on in. Feel that. Feel the constriction of it. She said, yeah, my breath got really tight. And I said, now invite it in and say, okay, hi. And I said, just sit with it for a minute. Because what you've been doing is trying to suppress it and make it go away. How's that working? She said, it's not. And I said, so sit with it. I can feel it right now. And she did. And I said, what's happening? And she said, it's getting smaller. The letters are getting smaller. And I said, isn't that great? And I said, what do you feel when the letters get smaller? And she said, relief. And I said, in the words that you gave me, you asked me one day, hey, Rini, how big is your God? And I said, hey, how big is your God? And she just said, bigger than this. And I said, what does that feel like? And she said, so much relief. So the fear was there. She has a fear that her life is limited. It's legit. It's a legitimate scenario from her oncologist. That's legit. So she could spend the day ruminating on my life is limited and miss out on what days she does have left. And we don't know if that's 30 days, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. We don't know. We don't know. And that's what people hate. We want definitive. We want to put our thumb on it. Don't. Invite the fear in and see what happens when you sit with it and allow it versus trying to suppress it and make it go away. And I think you're going to find that it doesn't own you like it did. The letters got smaller and eventually they went away. And she said, what it does is it makes me want to go out and live today and enjoy it. And I said, there you go. So within an hour, huge amount of fear, to the end of the hour, I'm going to go out and I'm going to enjoy this day. Because she allowed it. Allow it. Thanks, guys.